As you're going through and watching this film, your thoughts on Lamar and how this is probably a huge week, for you in particular in terms of containing him, limiting him?
Yeah, my thoughts are pretty similar to last year. And, as time goes on, I'm pretty sure that they'll be similar. I mean, he's a dynamic player. He'll always be a dynamic player. So focusing on keying him, making sure we slow him down with his, play actions, whether it's zone reads, et cetera. So I think my mindset will always be the same.
What do you remember about the play that ended his season?
What do you mean by that?
Your tackle of him was
Yeah.
end of the season, it turned on. I mean, there's no flag. I'm not insinuating or anything, but what do you recall about that play?
I recall about the play. He was tackled and he was hurt after. That's about it.
Did you know it would have such an impact on the race in the division?
No.
Because it did.
All right.
Last year, you guys were able to really frustrate him and into probably one of his worst games of his career with all the turnovers you guys were able to create. Is it possible to replicate that blueprint and pull it off again?
Well, yeah, I mean, is it possible? Of course, but it's also possible that, hey, we may make some mistakes. So the key is to make sure we get our fundamentals down, communicate in the right way, try to do some of the similar things that we did last year, and make sure that we contain those playmakers that they have over there, 89, 8, 17. So they have a lot of playmakers and a lot of people that are emerging, and that's what we're focused on. So
when you look at their run game, do you look at it as like the Lamar part of the run game, and then when everybody else gets the ball?
Well, about 50% of the offense, well, I would say 80% of the offense runs around Lamar. So, of course, it'll be Lamar first, and then so on, so on. So,
Jeremiah, what's the one thing you can't appreciate about Lamar until you actually get out on the field against him?
say it one more time.
What's the thing about Lamar you can't appreciate about him?
Can't or can?
Can't appreciate until you get out there on the field.
What's the speed? You watch film, and you're like, okay, this guy may be fast, and the quickness also. Them two married together. So it's the speed and the quickness that he has, and he's able to get from one point to another, and he's able to see and react quicker than some of the guys I've ever seen. So almost kind of like a, I'll leave it at that.
It seems like last week, what did it seem like? You had fewer reps and Sione had a little bit more. Was that just a game planning thing against the Patriots, and that will change from week to week, you think?
Yeah, I believe Coach Stefanski also answered a similar question, and he basically said the same thing. It's a game plan thing. He wanted to do some things in the defense that I think that Sione may have matched up better with in reference to how his play type is. So, yeah.
How was Lamar able to disguise his runs? I know some of it's off schedule. He sees a play, he goes in and makes it, and some of it's built into their system. But just how is he able to keep that as confusing as it is for a defense?
Yeah, I think he has a gift, is able to react and see things that we may not see in a split second. But, it's a gift that he's been doing ever since his college days, I'm sure. As you go back and watch some of those high school plays, similar. So he's a talented player, awesome player, and he's able to do what he does, and he's able to get paid on it, and he'll continue to do that. But I think it's a raw gift that he has. Not a lot of people can do it, and not a lot of people can learn it. So yeah.
Jeremiah, I know we asked you a lot about this last year, but I guess this perception that you can be a Lamar stopper given your own skills, I guess how much do you like playing in this matchup against him, against this offense, and how much do you think it kind of suits what you can do yourself?
Yeah, no, it's a matter of personnel. You put fast guys against fast guys, power guys against power guys, right? So, that's what the coaches see, and that's how they, drafted me to do, and drafted me for games similar to this, and I have to go out and do my part and follow my responsibilities. So.
When you were talking about his speed, like in the first quarter of the first game you played against him, were you like, was it like?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was one play that I had just watched. I just went back and watched the two games that we played him. One of the plays, I think he outran me to the sideline on one of them, but I kind of caught him from the back end. But his speed is something to be surprised by. But this game, we got a feel of it. Played two games, at least for me, from my standpoint, and we're able to know what we're expecting.
In this week where the theme is everybody dig deeper, everybody do a little bit more, what are you doing to add to your games?
Yeah, I mean it's a matter of focus. I don't think it's a more of a hey, we're not doing this, so don't do that. I think it's more so of just, okay, well, how can we be more detailed on the things that we're already doing, right? We're already communicating, but we have to communicate a little bit more, right? Or to be more in depth with our communication. You know what I mean? We may say slide it, but we may say, hey, slide over to your A or slide over to your B. It's more so of the details, and I think once we key in on that, we'll be good.
The defense had 2 real good games against the Ravens last
Yeah.
year. Do you draw on those videos of those games?
Oh yeah, of course. We see.
Muscle memory and all
Yeah. We see what we did well, and we want to key in on those things. We see what they didn't do as well, and we want to see if we can replicate those things and have another occurring 2 of those games. And I think once we find out those things that they don't do well and the things that we do well, we fall into those things and we put them into the game plan.
They haven't changed their offense much. Some guys are.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. Yeah, pretty similar.
You played fewer than 50% of the defensive snaps against New England. Was that just a matchup?
Yeah, I just you asked the same question, right? Yeah, I just answered a similar question, more so of a game plan. So yeah.
With such the division not wrapped up, do you see this as an opportunity to kind of seize? You've got 2 division games in a row. Do you see this as a?
Oh, absolutely. I think every game, first and foremost, is an opportunity to seize an opportunity. But as we know, the division's on the line. That's what the main focus is, to make sure we focus on the little steps to win the game, win the division, et cetera, move on. But yeah, this is definitely a great opportunity to do that. And then, of course, next week we'll focus on next week and so on. So.
Lamar yesterday was saying over in Baltimore that those guys are, they're mad at themselves. They're doing their own soul searching and gut checking because they've blown a bunch of leads in the fourth quarter. And he said they plan to put on a show. So, what's your reaction to that when they're, ready to come out gangbusters against you guys?
Well, it makes 2 of us. Trying to be so cautious too, and we've blown some leads, right? So it makes 2 of us.
You guys are giving up more yards per rush before contact than any defense in the NFL right now. How do you explain that? What's happening here?
That's fundamentals again. I mean, every time I think the answer is always kind of similar, and will be repetitive, with how much you ask. But I mean, it's wrapping up, making sure that we grab a body part. The base things that we already know to do, we just have to execute and apply those
But
things.
that's not a missed tackle stat. You're not before contact. So
Well, and that's part of what I'm saying. Like before contact, after contact, it goes back to the fundamentals. Whether it's rapping, whether it's reading your keys, whether it's communicating, fundamentals. Yeah.
So you were cool with how John Johnson said things yesterday, where he basically said, we need everybody to be.
What did he say?
Oh, that he said that maybe not 100% buy-in on the whole commitment piece, and that maybe some people aren't doing every single thing that they possibly need to do to excel at this level. Are you cool with how he?
Well, I mean, I guess you could take the best team in the NFL right now, and I'm sure that if you ask them, are y'all 100% bought in? I mean, they'll probably give you not 100%, right? Like everybody's working to get to a certain level to which they excel at their highest peak, and that's I think what that statement actually meant. And when he's focused at, hey, not everybody's 100%. Well, he may even be referring to himself. He may be referring to a specific person. Just a team in general. Coach will tell you the same thing. We always need to focus on being 100% and getting that 1% each day. So that's what we're focused on.